Hey everyone, welcome to Rewards Canada's This Week in Rewards. This week we're covering October 14th to 20th, 2023, right here on the Rewards Canada channel and podcast. This is your weekly dose of loyalty, rewards, travel, and credit card happenings in Canada. I hope everybody is doing well and having a great day. I know it's been a great day for myself. Every day is a great day, so I can't complain. Let's get right into the thick of things. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, notify, and leave a comment if you like these videos. And once you do hit that notification bell, you should find out when every time we post new videos. I'm going to try and increase the number we do. Of course, there's only so much time in the day to cover everything we do on our site, but I hope you do like today's content, so let's get right into it. So the first thing we did this week, I guess it wasn't the first thing, but the primary thing this week that has the most coverage was our 5 amazing flight rewards that you can get with very low credit card spend, and that's low credit card spend on the American Express Cobalt Card. Like, this was a really fun piece to put together. It's always fun searching for availability and finding ones, the ones that everybody can use or that so many Canadians can use. I know there was a comment on the piece like, let's look at something for Vancouver, and so I'll follow up with some more pieces looking at different parts of the country. I kind of just tried to pick 5 out of literally hundreds or even thousands of potential redemptions, but these cover ones that a lot of people can easily earn because the spending is not a lot. I mean, if you follow Rewards Canada for some time now, even if you follow other blogs, you know that the Cobalt Card is pretty much the best card in Canada when it comes to earning points and redeeming for travel and value, and that's what this piece kind of looks at. But it looks at, these are all economy class redemptions, and all of these require only 8,000 points, not 8,000 points, $8,000 or less in spending in the eats and drinks categories. And I mean, this is categories that almost everybody uses: groceries, bars, bakeries, you name it, dining, food delivery, it's all there. So, very easy to earn, and so that's what we did. So, the five ones I picked start off with like the popular short haul flights that American Express offers themselves. These are the ones that you'll find with Amex membership rewards. And what they do is offer 15,000 points flat rate plus taxes and fees on popular routes like Calgary to Vancouver, Montreal to New York, Toronto to New York, Toronto, Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal. 15,000 points. So all you need is $3,000 in spending on the Cobalt Card. And with the average family of 4 in Canada spending $1,600 alone on groceries per month, so that means in 2 months you would have enough for this reward. And then that doesn't include what other spending you have on dining or other eats and drinks. Like I said, there's a lot of things that are covered, even some Walmarts. There's the odd Walmart supercenter that does count as 5 times points, which you can find on our Cobalt multipliers list. So popular short haul flights, membership rewards, their fixed points for travel only needs 15,000 points or $3,000 in spending. The next closest card that is comparable is the American Express Aeroplan Reserve Card with $4,000 in spending, but that's $4,000 spent only with Air Canada. If you take into account groceries or other things, it's going to cost you even more in terms of daily spending. So it just gets wider in terms of the Cobalt Card's availability here, and just how easy it is with such low spending to get these rewards with the Cobalt Card. So that was number 1, was popular short haul flights with membership rewards, fixed points for travel. Next was another short haul one, and this is with Aeroplan. Now Aeroplan, this was, back in the day, were famous for their short haul rewards. Only 15,000 miles at that time, they weren't called points. 15,000 miles for round trip short haul flights. So that was within your same province to the neighboring province or neighboring US state. Now they've got rid of that specific nomenclature around short haul flights, and now it's kind of just based on the shortest ones is at 500 miles or shorter. And on average, they want 6,000 Aeroplan points each direction, or 12,000 12,000 Aeroplan points round trip. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So with the Cobalt Card, you can convert points 1-to-1 to Aeroplan. So that means it only needs 12,000 membership reward points on average for a short haul Aeroplan reward. So that's only $2,400 in spending. So that's actually less than what you'd find with Amex's membership rewards, fixed points for travel. But of course, there's pros and cons to each. Aeroplan availability may be less. with Amex, you have kind of more airline options. You saw that one was United, even though United works with Aeroplan as well. But pros and cons of both. But that's the great thing about the Cobalt card is you get both of these options. So there's it's just amazing what you get with it. It is great. So in this case, $2,400 in spend gets you 12,000 membership rewards points. Convert them to Aeroplan, and you have 12,000 Aeroplan points, which can be used for a short haul reward. And that's on average. I say on average because they use dynamic pricing, where pricing can be higher or lower. And if you see on the screen, this example, it's actually lower. Only 9,600 points for a short haul flight between Calgary and Vancouver. That's only $1,920 in spending on the Cobalt card in the eats and drinks category. And again, like that, this is the category most people use, so it's easy to earn those points. The closest comparable card, again, Amex Aeroplan Reserve, would require $3,200 in spending, and that's only with Air Canada. It gets even less because on average, most Aeroplan cards are only earning 1.5 points, so it would take much more spending. So I think you're getting the picture here. Again, to get a flight between Calgary and Vancouver for $1,920 in spending, you could do that like every month with the Cobalt card and have this flight. It's simply amazing. So that's that. That was the number 2. So number 3 is one we've talked about lots on Rewards Canada if you've followed us for a while, even here on our YouTube channel and the podcast, and that is the famous economy class transatlantic rewards on Air France KLM and their Flying Blue program. Eastern Canada to Europe, North Africa, Turkey, 15,000 Flying Blue miles one way, 30,000 round trip. So this requires 30,000 to 40,000 membership rewards points. I'll get into why it's 30,000, but 40,000 membership rewards points because they convert from the Cobalt card to Flying Blue at a 1 to 3/4 ratio. So you need 40,000 membership rewards points to get 30,000 Flying Blue miles. So that's $8,000 in spending. You want to know what the next closest card is to that same redemption? $23,333 in spending, and that's on an Aeroplan card. Again, the Amex card that would all have to be spent on Air Canada. So you can just see where this huge value comes in. I mean, even if you did spend $23,333 with Air Canada on your Amex Reserve, $8,000 in spending, if you could spend that multiple times on the Cobalt card, you'd have 3 tickets for that same amount of dollar spending. Really in this piece, I probably should have compared apples to apples, where I take grocery, dining, and all that type of spend off of like the Aeroplan cards, RBC Avions and that would just shine the light even brighter on the Cobalt card because the spend on these other cards would be even more. But I just took the absolute minimum spend you would require on any of these cards, regardless of what categories are spent in. But the good thing with Air France KLM is that they have their famous promo rewards, which we always cover on Rewards Canada. You will always find them there. And this just makes it even better. Typically they're 25% off, and if it's an economy class, that means it's only 11,250 miles each way, or 22,500 miles, like you see here, round trip. This Montreal to Amsterdam round trip. So that's only 30,000 membership rewards points because you have to convert at 1 to 3/4. So that's $6,000 in spending. Again, $6,000 spending versus the next closest of $23,333. Think about that. How many tickets can you get between those two? Like 6,000 times by 4, what is that? 24,000. So almost 4 tickets for the same amount of spending. Yeah, they're different categories, but I think you're getting the picture here, just how amazing this card is. So that's that one. Not only is Air France KLM Flying Blue's Transatlantic Rewards the best for economy class, but when you combine it with a Cobalt card, there's just like no comparison at all. And then we went into number 4, and this is actually what triggered this piece on these top 5. Or these 5, not top 5, but 5 amazing rewards. And that was American Airlines announced the resumption of their Halifax to New York flights starting in 2024. This was such a popular redemption for the Rewards Canada community pre-pandemic, before American Airlines canceled this flight, and it's back, which means you can use your British Airways Executive Club Avios for this. And as you see right from the screen right there, it's only 15,000 Avios. Membership rewards from the Cobalt card convert 1-to-1, so 15,000 membership rewards points equals 15,000 Avios. Divide that by 5 times point spending, and it's only $3,000 in spending to get this flight. The next closest, again, is Aeroplan co-brand card, but it's at 3 times points on Air Canada spend only, $6,667, so more than double I mean, if you were to get into grocery spending on those cards, you're going to be spending over 10 grand to get the same reward for $3,000 in spending. And this is Halifax, New York City. And this is a good one. It was a little discussion on Facebook too on how this is an E175, so you're on a jet, versus Air Canada's Q400 propeller turboprop between Halifax and New York. Plus Air Canada goes to Newark, whereas this goes to LaGuardia. LaGuardia is closer to downtown New York City, better connections, and it's also closer to JFK. If you're using this as a positioning flight for some amazing rewards out of JFK on a lot of those international flights. Now, of course, EWR is better as well if you're connecting out of there, but again, you're going to have to be spending more on an Aeroplan reward. And when I looked at Aeroplan's comparison here, that they wanted a lot more on the direct flight. You could get 10,000 Aeroplan points one way out of Halifax, New York, without connecting in Toronto. The direct flight was over 20,000. So just things to take into account. But that's why the Cobalt Card is so great, because you do have the Aeroplan option, you have the British Airways to redeem on American Airlines here. There's just so many options, the most flexibility possible. And then our the fifth example was, again, using a British Airways Executive Club, and this is the famous Toronto to Dublin, Ireland redemption. During the off-peak season, which is most of the year, with the program, it requires 26,000 Avios, which is only 26,000 membership rewards points because they're one-to-one. So that's $5,200 in spending at the 5 times points level. So you can earn that in like just over 2 months if you're maximizing your $2,500 a month at the 5 times points level. And that's not, including welcome bonuses if you're new to the card. Again, next closest, $23,333 on an Aeroplan co-brand card. I think that was, or maybe, actually the RBC card was a little bit lower. I think 20,800 or something like that for Avion. But still, 20,800 versus 5,200. No, there's like no comparison here. The Ion card. When you do the Avion card with the Ion Plus card combination, it gets a little bit better. I think we're looking at something like, what was that, a third of that? But I think still the comparison, there's just no comparison there. This is one of those items where I just did not write everything down in my notes here for this video. But I think you guys are getting the picture. I mean, and that's the crazy thing about all of this, is that this is 5 times spends on popular categories. All the other cards that I put in the comparisons on this piece, they're less likely type of spend. RBC Avion, the 1 1/4 that you earn on that, if you have the infinite privilege, that's all you're spending. But on the Avion card, that's only on travel. All other spending is 1 point per dollar. So it's the spread gets even wider. Same with Aventura and most of the Aeroplan cards. It's just unbelievable. So the Cobalt card, you're more likely to earn the 5 times points, whereas the other cards lean the other direction. So the spread is bigger in those comparable spend. So just an amazing thing. So check out. I'll have the link below on our podcast page and in the YouTube description. So be sure to check that out. I'm probably going on too long about this. This probably should have been its own video. Maybe I will make it its own video. Go a little more in depth on it. So the next things this week, let's talk about. There was lots to do with Porter Airlines this week. First thing, they announced Ottawa to Calgary direct nonstop flights, and then later in the week, Toronto to Las Vegas flights. So they're just continuing their huge expansion, and they're starting to make a push for their VIPorter program as well. Right now, if you join VIPorter and complete your first flight with the airline, you'll earn 500 points in the program. I'm waiting to hear back from them because there was absolutely no terms and conditions to this offer on their website. So I don't know how long it lasts. Do you have 3 months to take your first flight, 6 months, or is it just open-ended? I don't know. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. So as soon as I do, well, I'll make the updates there on that offer. And then they also are offering 50% points discount when you do their dollar and points flight redemption option. So this is their cash and miles option, where you can pay, redeem for a flight using part cash, part points. So they're offering a 50% discount on the points portion. So that's a great deal. So if you've been collecting VIPorter points and may not have enough to cover the whole base fare, well, now's the time to go redeem, do a half and half, or whatever. It doesn't have to be half and half, but do part cash, and then your part points part will be discounted by 50%. So this is great. You get to keep some extra points in your purse or wallet for future Porter flights, or whatever. Like, just, you can use as many as you want, but it's just another good deal. So yeah, Porter Airlines definitely trying to make their strides. They've really focused on, of course, the expansion, adding all their routes with their new E195 jets. free Wi-Fi, two plus two seating, just everything that they're trying to push. And now it looks like they're starting to focus a little bit more on their VIPorter program as well, which they revamped, as we all know, earlier in the year and did like status matches and all that. And now it's going to be about attracting or keeping customers with offers like this. So you have the 500 free points for joining VIPorter, and then you also have the 50% off their dollar points, 50% off the points portion of $1 in points flight redemption. So yeah, lots from Porter, and I'm sure we're still going to see even more before the end of the year from them. Next up, continuing kind of on the route news, and this kind of also works on redemptions, which, like I said, triggered the 5 amazing flight redemptions from the Cobalt Card, was American Airlines announcing the return of the Halifax to New York LaGuardia route in 2024. But in addition to that, they are adding a Vancouver to Charlotte route for the summer season. This seems targeted towards more the US market for the cruise, cruises out of Vancouver, the cruise market. But Canadians can book this flight. You can redeem for this flight. I was looking at redemptions for it. I couldn't find any saver availability on AA.com. So of course it didn't show up on British Airways for Avios, but maybe it will in the near future here. But this is also a route you can redeem like Air Miles on, because American Airlines is a partner of Air Miles for their newly launched travel program. So it's not a bad deal there, because you can redeem as little as 50% of your miles and rest for cash on like American Airlines new Vancouver to Charlotte route. But of course, that, like I mentioned, I won't go into it deeply here, but the Halifax to New York is a great redemption option in the British Airways Executive Club program, which of course you can convert not just American Express membership rewards points, but your RBC Avion rewards points. And if you're still holding on to your HSBC rewards, which I'm going to talk about right after this. If you're still holding on to HSBC reward, you can convert those to British Airways as well. So a lot of great options there to use points for that new route, or I guess both those new routes. So yeah, and yeah, speaking of HSBC, so this unfortunate news is at the end of an era. As we all know, RBC's takeover is very close to being completed of HSBC, just waiting on that final approval from the Minister of Finance. And I think that's just, basically they just need to rubber stamp the paperwork. The Competition Bureau cleared it, so I don't see why the minister wouldn't clear this offer. But in anticipation of that, HSBC has stopped accepting applications for all their credit cards. So yes, you can no longer get the best no foreign transaction fee card in Canada, probably the best MasterCard in Canada, which is the HSBC Rewards World Elite, which is pictured right there. But for those of you who have the cards, it's day to day. It still goes as you've been accustomed to the card. Nothing has changed. We should be actually very shortly, in the next week or two, I believe we're going to be seeing the transfer bonus of British Airways come in. I'm waiting on confirmation on that, but maybe I shouldn't have leaked that. But yeah, so if you've been holding on to HSBC rewards, yeah, be prepared. You're going to get a transfer bonus here soon. So that's coming up with HSBC rewards. So yeah, but unfortunately, they made such great strides with their credit card products. They were really trying to grow them. Made this World Elite card just an amazing card, and it's we just have to wait to see what is RBC going to do with them. I'm not holding out hope that it's going to be kept the same. I feel like RBC is a bank that knows they can make a lot of money on like foreign transaction fees. They don't need to offer no effects to compete. So we'll see. Like I said, I believe this card will still be around into 2024, because I think once the acquisition is complete, I think there's bigger things that RBC needs to take care of in once they finalize the acquisition of HSBC in terms of mortgages and bank accounts and all that. But who knows? Maybe they'll jump right at the credit cards right away. But I think you guys at least have a little bit of time if you're still holding on to this card. So yeah, unfortunate that you can no longer apply for HSBC credit cards. But you never know. Maybe they'll open it up. Maybe RBC will say, yeah, let's keep the products going for a little while, and they will open it up to new applications. At that point, that card, I took it off. I mean, I haven't taken it off, but I've removed the links on a lot of the site and put up notes saying that, yeah, this card's no longer available for applications, but I've kind of kept it up there. Maybe there's that small glimmer of hope. I'm hoping that they bring it back, and that'll make my job easier. I just have to, re-add the links instead of rewriting so many different features and things on this site. And then one more quick piece just to bring up here. We got note this week that Air France KLM and Brim have extended the welcome bonus of up to 60,000 Flying Blue miles on their Air France KLM World Elite MasterCard powered by Brim. This offer was was due to end on October 18th, and we received note that it has been extended to November 18th. So if you had missed out on that, or were hemming and hawing about it, I don't know if I should get this, and now you're thinking, I should have got it. Well, you still have time now because you have till November 18th. It's been extended till then. So that's all I'll really say about that one. We've covered that lots. And that's it for this week. I think this is quite a long episode. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. And like I mentioned before, be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this week's content. Subscribe to our channel. It helps us out. Hit that notification bell so you know when the videos come up. And yeah, be sure to tell people about our podcast, about the YouTube channel. If you guys want to make the most of your programs, especially earning more points, more miles to end up with more rewards, Rewards Canada is your place. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in this week. Have a great weekend.